What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 69 of Thinktwice, a magic and pop culture show hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ali Aintrazi.
Hi, I'm Ali Aintrazi. Oh man, episode 69. What a great episode. 69. I'm Ollie, and I really like to talk about 69 jokes.
Are you the 6 or are you the 9? Oh, sorry. Ollie, please stop being a kid, be mature.
Yeah, you broke character for a second. You started asking yourself a question.
I did. But seriously, are you the 6 or the 9?
It's all the same.
It's all the same?
That's the whole point.
Okay. So are we going with this intro or no?
Yeah, no, we're gonna go with it. Yeah. Hey,
okay,
hey everybody.
right.
So we're gonna switch back. I'm gonna be Justin now, and Ollie's gonna be Ollie for the rest of the time.
All right, that's fair.
How does that sound? Okay.
That sounds
So
good.
what did you do last weekend?
I streamed a lot.
Okay.
I've been streaming a lot this week as well, actually. This is the only day I haven't streamed this week.
You have.
And then I also did the Golgari event with Chase.
Okay. So did you get any shiny Gengars?
Yeah, I got, I think, 3 or 4 shiny Golgaris and a shiny pincer.
I got one shiny. I caught one pincer. I was at GP Atlanta this weekend, which I'll get to in a second. But as I was like walking back to the hotel on like Saturday night, I clicked on one pincer. It was shiny. I was like, got it. Caught that, and then never clicked on another pincer. Yeah.
Wow.
Literally the only one that I clicked on, and I was like, all right, well, I don't really have time to do this. I like to like go around and like find them. So yeah, it was fine. Just got it first try.
Yeah, that's nice. So real quick, Maggie is my dog.
Yep.
She just got out of her bed. She put her back paws on the ground and just dragged herself to the door, and then lay down. And now she's going to go back to sleep. I know it's random, but I found it hilarious.
She's so long that she can't support the weight of her longness with all of her legs anymore.
I don't know why she does that. Maybe she's got like an itch, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. She got groomed today, so she's smelling fresh.
She's fancy. She's fancy girl today.
She is a fancy girl today.
Well, I mean, sometimes you gotta be a little fancy though. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with treating yourself.
No. Oh, but I do got... Okay, so people listening to this will get an early announcement. I applied for partnership for Twitch. I'm hoping I get that. But I'm planning ahead. So I'm going to make emotes already. And I have 3 set. One is going to be Maggie's head and front legs. A second one's just going to be a body. And then the third part is going to be her hind legs and tail. So you can make her as long as you want.
Because you can just keep putting body parts in?
Yeah.
Okay. That's really good. That's actually really great.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious, so I don't know.
The more body parts you put in, like the more excited the emote is.
Yeah, I think it's funny, so.
Oh,
anyways,
yeah,
what did you do this weekend?
As a lot of you know, I was at GP Atlanta working the Star City Games booth. And I actually met a lot of listeners. A couple that I'd met before, but a lot that I'd not met before. Handed out a few tokens. If you talk to me and you're like, I listened to Thinktwice, but I didn't get any tokens, that's probably because you didn't tell me you listened to Thinktwice. Anyone that told me they listened to the show, I gave them a pair of Ollie and Justin tokens. So
nice.
Next time that you see me, tell me about Thinktwice, and I'll give you some tokens.
That's the magic word. Not please.
That is the magic word.
Thinktwice.
Thinktwice. Yeah, that's the passcode. So obviously, working the booth, I helped a lot of people purchase decks, and I sold many a Rainbow Lich deck, or at least portion of decks. I never sold anyone the whole deck, but lots of different portions.
That's awesome. I guess the deck blew up. I get a lot of messages like from people saying how much they enjoy the deck, how fun it is. Like, they play it. Some say, "Oh, I crushed FNM with it. I got finals on PBHQ." Others say, "I went 1-3 at FNM, but I still had fun." So it's like usually total opposite. It's like, I got finals. I'm a PTQ with this deck.
Yeah.
Those are like, I'm losing like crazy, but I'm still having fun.
Yeah, it's great. I took pictures of a few of the orders of like me either holding cards or like an order form that people had turned in. I thought that I texted to you, but I just checked and I did not.
Nope.
I mean, I was
I would
just
reply
busy.
to that. That's fine.
But I still have the pictures. I'll send them to you. But a couple people were like, just like a lot of people bought like parts of the deck, and they were like, "Oh, do you know what deck I'm building?" And one person just got the mana base, and I was "Oh, you're like, yeah, clifftop retreat, watery grave, temple garden." I was like, "Yep, you're gonna build rainbow lich, got it." He was like, "Oh my gosh, how do you know?" I was like, "I've heard about this deck a lot."
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun. Good event for me. Actually enjoyed it. I don't always enjoy working events. Sometimes they're very tiring, and this was too. But we were so busy the whole time, and everyone was actually like, I just had a lot of great conversations with people. So it was good. It was good.
Nice.
I know a lot of people are staying in Atlanta for the Pro Tour, which is happening. By the time you listen to this podcast, if you're listening to it in real time, either Friday or Saturday, Friday for patrons, Saturday for everybody else, Pro Tour Guild Ravnica is happening right now, which is standard. So that's definitely something that we're going to circle back around to next week.
I also know someone playing Rainbow Lich at that Pro Tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't want to say his name in case like someone listens and like gets paired against him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super sweet. I bet they won't be the only one.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully not, but I don't know.
There's at least one. There's at least one, yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure they'll definitely get a deck tag or something. But speaking of Rainbow, maybe later, like in a future podcast, yesterday I streamed a deck called Rainbow Omniscience.
Okay.
Or sorry, Rainbow Omniscience.
Okay, much better, yeah.
Yeah, I apologize. And we've been crushing people with it. It's actually faster than Rainbow Lich. Rainbow Lich is like kind of slower, but when it comes off. This deck, like, it's hard to explain, but like, it ramps up, rats the board like 2-3 times, and just kills you. You play Omniscience,
and you just go through your deck.
Yeah, you have 4 recurring overflowing insight. The one that draws 7 cards.
Yes. She has
so
4 of those.
You have 4 of those. You have 4 masterminds, and then everything else is a board wipe or ramp spell. You have no one conditions main deck. So what you do is like you cast mastermind, getting card from your sideboard. After play Omniscience. Anyways, you know what? We'll talk about later. Talk about next time.
Okay, got it. Check out Ollie's stream.
Yep.
If you've not done so yet.
And if you listen to the podcast and you have the brew book, by the time this podcast is live, I'll have an iteration of that deck in the brew book.
Don't you have a chromatic black deck too?
Yes, I also have a mono black deck splashing Friend of Visit.
That's my favorite one.
We went 5-5-0 with it in a competitive league actually.
That's awesome.
And I think it's actually better. I think it's in a better spot than Rainbow Lich right now. I've been winning a lot more with that deck than anything else.
Niv-Mizzet is an outrageously powerful card, for sure.
Yeah, so is Cabal Stronghold with Chromatic Lantern, when you can like cast, like your Banefires just are infinite.
Yeah.
Because you have 4 treasure maps, and then you have like Lantern, so you can like wish for the Banefire from your sideboard, and then just like Cabal Stronghold twice and get like 16, 17 mana and just Banefire them.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty fun deck.
That's super awesome. Okay, we want to give a shout out to our new patron supporter this week, Brielle S. Brielle, thank you for your support. And thanks everybody who is listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and Spotify. If you could leave us a like or a subscribe or a 5-star review or a short little text review, we really appreciate that. And make sure to go to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG to support the show even further. Now, before we move on, Ollie, we had a question of the week last week, as usual. Of course, for Halloween, we were talking about Halloween candy and which guild gives out the best Halloween candy. Ollie, you said Rakdos. I said Rakdos for razor blades. I said Simic. And the vote came up for me once again. 55% agreed with Simic, 32% agreed with Rakdos, and 13% for, I would say, a pretty even assortment of the rest of the guilds.
Yeah. I think that I misjudged. I should have picked Gruel. Because candied bacon would have been good for Halloween.
Yeah. I think Gruel was a popular suggestion. Gruel and Celestia were popular suggestions.
I should have picked Gruel because they definitely give out candied bacon for Halloween. And that would have been the best.
So. Yeah, probably so. Yeah, you definitely get some sort of some sweet meat.
Have you had candied bacon, by the way?
No.
Oh my god, dude! I was on a keto diet and I had some, not knowing thinking it was regular bacon.
You're like,
it was
this
so
is
delicious.
I shouldn't be able to have this.
Yes, so I kept eating it, and I was like, "Yeah, what is this?" It's like candied bacon. It's like, "Oh no!" It's like
I ruined it.
So I googled it, and it has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah, of course. If it tastes good, you probably can't have it.
Yeah, exactly. On this diet, basically. Unless it's bacon. Bacon itself is delicious for whatever reason.
You know what else is delicious?
What?
Sweet, expensive mythic rares. And that's what we may potentially be getting in the newly announced Ultimate Masters. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to tear apart all of your preconceived notions about Ultimate Masters. Be back in just a minute. Surprise master set.
Yeah, I first saw it just like random pictures on the internet or Twitter, basically. It's like these cards look cool.
Yeah,
I guess they're giving away as consolation packs for the
Mythic Edition
Planeswalker things.
Yeah, the Mythic Edition Gilded Ravnica boxes that you could only buy on Hasbro Toy Shop, which is a horrendous site.
Yeah, so they each got one of these things, and yeah. And so started popping up. Then it was like, oh, by the way, master set. Okay. Sorry. Ultimate master set.
Ultimate Masters. I think that's how you have to say it every time.
Okay. With our powers combined, I and Captain Masters. That's it.
Did you have a follow-up?
No, that's it. Oh, what else did he say? That's it.
With our powers combined, we will lower the price of modern.
I don't think that's the case, is it?
Well,
you are the financial expert.
Yes.
You know all this stuff.
Yes.
Like better than anyone I know. So you know what? I'm gonna let you take the mic.
Okay, hold on. Let me grab it.
You got it?
I got it now. So
all right.
Yeah. So
tell me what's going on.
I was saying, first I want to say the way that they kind of spoiled this set was actually pretty smart. The fact that the fact that it actually worked was incredible. That no one knew there was another master set coming, and on Friday people started getting these random envelopes in the mail that said Ultimate Box Topper, and they had on the card they had a new expansion symbol no one had ever seen before. It was a foil card, borderless. There's 40 of them. It said blank of 40, and it had the expansion code UMA. So since it said Ultimate Box Topper, myself and a lot of other people kind of assumed it's like, well, this probably means MA usually stands for Masters, and U has to stand for Ultimate since that Ultimate Box Topper. So Ultimate Masters is what we assumed, and I did guess based on that these were going to be like buy box promos, and that's essentially what it is. So Ultimate Masters, Wizards announced on Monday, is going to be the last master set for a while. I'm going to put an asterisk on that because anytime Wizards said something is going to be the last of something or the first of something or something's going to change, that it means just for right now. Like they change that type of stuff all the time. Remember when Standard was going to rotate like every 6 months or every that lasted for 2 years, one full rotation, and that was it.
Whenever reprinting Lightning Bolt and Standard.
Yeah. Or Landmore Elves. Oh wait, we pretty much printed both of them in the same set immediately afterwards. Yeah, we're not going to do blocks anymore. Okay, but we are kind of doing a block right after we said we're not going to do a block. What we really meant was we're just going to do one set of Dominaria, and then 3 sets of Ravnica, like a block. But anyway,
not a block.
Not a block. A block.
But a block
with quotation marks around it. So Ultimate Masters is going to be the last Master set for a while, and it releases December 7th. Conveniently, this is the day that SAGCon starts. So that's going to be a lot of fun for us. Just kidding. It actually won't be fun for us. It's going to be a lot of work. Along with it come 2 Grand Prix that are going to be outrageously priced for Ultimate Masters Limited. $150 essentially, and $120, I believe, for a 6-pack sealed.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot.
It's an outrageous amount. So in the announcement, they showed all 40 of the cards, and it's pretty much all hits. There's only a couple that are, I guess, less than others. All of the cards that they released, all 40 of the cards are in the set at either rare or mythic rare, and then there were 2 uncommons, which were Eternal Witness and Kitchen Finks, which are 2 of the more expensive uncommons that are legal in Modern.
Yeah.
And then they dropped the bombshell. Not only is this a master set, but this is a master set that raises the price, the manufacturer's suggested retail price of a box, to $335. Let me tell you, folks.
It's a lot of money.
Everyone, reach into your pocket, pull out your wallet, see if you have $335 on you. And if you only have a credit card, think about if you just snap your fingers and you vanish $335. It's a lot of money. It's $14 a pack. There's 24 packs in each of these boxes, like every other master set. And you get a box topper with it, which are the 40 cards in the set that were the sweet borderless foil cards with kind of zoomed in art, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah,
we'll talk about art in a little bit. Because some of them are really awesome. Or, and this is only at an LGS, is the only way you can get a box. Or you can go to a big box store, Target, Walmart, etc., and you can buy 3 packs for $35, which is about $11.66 a pack. So obviously it's about $2 less if you buy them by the pack, but you don't get the box topper. I'll get back to the box toppers in a second. So here's what we know. MSRP $335, you get the box topper. There's 254 cards in the set. The average set in Magic is 249 cards. This counts for 101 commons, 80 uncommons, 53 rares, and 15 mythic rares. However, based on the article released by Wizards, we know that there's 20 mythic rares, and there's 254 cards. That's 5 more cards than normal. That actually just accounts for the regular mythic. For the rest of the mythic rares, so there's 20 mythics instead of 15. Really not that big of a deal. Even could just be a standard thing going forward if they want to do that. Still close, or roughly a 2-to-1 ratio with rares. Not going to change. Not really going to change a whole lot. You're still going to see each individual card roughly at the same amount.
Right.
It will change the way they do sheets because that math doesn't exactly work out because sheets are generally, like uncut sheets, you have 2 of every rare and then 1 of every mythic rare. So basically there's 106 regular rares accounted for and then 15 mythic rares. So it's 121 cards, 11 cards a line. And it's, again, not really going to change the math on it, which I'm not really going to get into because I think most people don't really care about that. Either way, it's the cards. This is the thing that most people are here for. So what people really want to hear about is the cards in Ultimate Masters. And obviously, since we're looking at this from a financial perspective, that's kind of how I'm going to be evaluating everything. The average card for Ultimate Masters is, now of course, I guess before I start, with a grain of salt, we've essentially only seen, I'm going to say 42 cards for this set because we've seen the 40 cards that we know are in the set. We've also seen from Wizards that Entomb is in the set as a rare, which is going to be great because Entomb is very valuable. And Dig Through Time, though I'm going to come back to that. It hasn't officially been announced. However, I would pretty much bet all the money that I had that the box art is Dig Through Time because it looks exactly like the original Dig Through Time art. Anyway,
okay.
So we're going to compare the cards to the price of a pack. And since I think the best way to buy this set, if you're able to, is for buying the set or buying a box with the box topper at $335. So we're going to say $14 a pack. Okay. So if you go through all 40 of the cards, because we're going to take out Eternal Witness and Kitchen Finks, although we'll come back to those in a second also. We have 40 cards. The only cards that are currently, like today, priced less than the pack of Ultimate Masters are Tassiger, Stirring Wildwood, Lava Claw Reaches, and the aforementioned Dig Through Time. Those are all essentially bulk rares. They're only $1 or $2. They're not really worth anything. The box toppers will definitely be worth something because they look really sweet, but even comparatively, they're some of the lower ones. And then you have Raging Ravine, which is just barely under. Most likely in a pack of Ultimate Masters. Raging Ravine is about $10 to $12. You're probably going to have commons and uncommons that are going to pull the value up. So I'll count it, but it only as a technicality because it's a little bit under. And then, of course, you have cards that are right at the break-even point. They're between $13 and $15 when their price can fluctuate. And that's Balefire Dragon, Sigarda, and Creeping Tar Pit. Those are, again, all of the same in the same range of the value of those cards as a booster pack. Now, I only named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards if we include Dig Through Time in this list. So 8 cards out of 40. That means 35 cards that I've not listed are worth currently more than the price of a booster pack. That's a significant amount. That's almost every single mythic. It's every single mythic rare. And then you have Balefire Dragon and Sigarda, which are roughly worth the same as a pack.
I'm surprised Balefire is worth so much.
Well, yeah, it means a casual card. But that's the thing. $14, every other card, which is, like I said, really an outrageous number, are worth more than a pack of Ultimate Masters. Like, that is unprecedented for a Master set. And I understand this is expensive, but if you buy a box of this, it's almost impossible at this point to lose money. Even when we add in, even if we factor in 0 to the averages, you're still coming out ahead. It's not like significantly ahead, but you're still coming out ahead. That's even before getting the box topper. Right now, these box toppers are worth anywhere from like $100 to like $500, and some people are trying to sell them for even more than that. I think they're probably going to settle in the for the low end ones about $40 range, and for the high end ones like I don't know $400 probably. And you only probably have 5 that are in that the big class. That's your Liliana the Veil, Tarmogoyf, Karn Liberated, probably Demonic Tutor, and
maybe Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, and probably Snapcaster Mage. Although, I mean, there's some that are probably going to surprise you that are more expensive. I mean, like Cavern of Souls, like that card is going to be outrageously expensive. As it stands right now, Engineer Explosives would be outrageously expensive. I know there's one I'm definitely missing. Mana Vault, going to be very, very expensive. That is my number one pick for biggest difference in regular printing of this set and value of the
box topper.
Box topper, yeah, by far. That will be the biggest difference for sure. Reason for
Why is that?
First time foil printing for Mana Vault. So this is the shot for Cube owners and EDH players to get their premium really sweet looking copy, even more so than the regular foil copy in the set. Because of course you're going to have the non-foil copy in the set, the foil copy in the set, and then the box topper version. And the box topper version is going to be like 20-fold, maybe more than that, as expensive as the non-foil manifold. Let's see. Yeah, and I think I would have put, like I said, Snapcaster in that upper realm that are in the several $100 range. That's a lot. That's a lot of value. And I know we're talking $335, but if you're looking at this from a financial perspective, which I am, this is a good set to open. These cards will go down, obviously. And we're talking about the top of how much these cards are worth right now. But I want to remind everyone that even though these cards, the reprinted cards are going to go down, this is not a thing that happens forever. Almost every single card that's being printed in this set has been printed in a previous master set. Almost all of them have rebounded. Almost every single one has rebounded. And a lot of them, in the case of Liliana of the Veil, Tarmogoyf for the first time, Snapcaster Mage, Cavern of Souls, all of those cards, surprisingly enough, went up in price when they were printed in their first master set. Tarmogoyf, Liliana of the Veil, Snapcaster Mage, Cavern of Souls. All of those cards actually increased in price. Now, some of those are because, specifically, Tarmogoyf, Snapcaster, and Cavern of Souls, the fact that they were printed with a different art means that there's two distinct different versions. So you actually don't have the new version that affects the old version that much. So when you're looking at these from evaluating a long-term perspective, what you actually really want to look at is say, which of these cards have new art? Because new art makes a big difference. Because there are people that just want one version of the card or the other. Cards with new art: Ancient Tomb, Bitter Blossom, Dark Depths, Demonic Tutor, Fulminator Mage, Goryo's Vengeance, Life from the Loam. We'll count Mana Vault because this is technically a new art, even though this is a Magic Online art. Mana Vault, Platinum Imperium, Reanimate, Tarmogoyf, very, very big one, Tassiger, Through the Breach, and Urborg.
Yep.
There's a long list. Now, obviously, of those cards that we want to specifically identify, Tarmogoyf, yet again. Mana Vault, yet again. Life from the Loam is kind of on the outside looking in because that card has kind of been spiking up recently. And Dark Depths, which is a card that is very, very expensive, as well as Demonic Tutor. More from an availability standpoint, but even so, availability for those cards kind of will drive desirability because the more people have access to it, the more people are going to want it. Same with actually almost all of these cards that have new art is kind of that thing. So all of the cards you're seeing with new art, look for the price of those cards to not really go down almost at all. Okay, so where are we still? All right, so reprinted cards. You have two options. Well, I guess you have three options. One is hold your cards. If you have your cards, you have them already, you're not worried about losing value, gaining value, which is actually how I kind of think that a lot of people should really look at their cards rather than try to play Magic like a stock market. Say, these are pieces that I need to have, that I want to have. If I have them, I don't need to worry about the value because I own them. The value fluctuating doesn't affect me because I'm not going to sell them. I don't plan to. Okay, for people in Camp B, which is, I do kind of want to, play around with the price of my cards. Option one, for people in that camp, you have 3 weeks to sell these cards before they start to actually go down a significant amount. Now, all the cards that were announced have probably taken a small price dip, but they have not really hit their... This is going to get reprinted, and it's actually being reprinted in physical form yet. And it's a crazy thing. This happens with every single set with reprints. The cards will dip slowly when they're announced. They'll stabilize, move slightly back up, and then when the set actually comes out, then they take their big jump down. And you're saying, well, it's $335 a box. How much could they go down? Well, the answer is a lot because the same amount of these, because of the value of the cards, are going to be opened just like every other master set. You might as well ignore the MSRP, which sounds crazy because you're like, well, $335. How could I possibly ignore that? MSRP doesn't matter. It matters day one. It matters for your LGS if you're buying it in the first month this is out. But after that, MSRP is completely irrelevant, especially for Magic cards, because the contents of the set are going to determine the value of the set. If the MSRP on this set was $100, then a handful of people are going to get this for MSRP from their LGSs that are being very nice. But outside of that, 3 months later, you're not going to be able to find these for less than $300 anyway. So it doesn't matter. Like it matters for a small number of people in small markets, and people that are buying in person and not buying from resellers online. And ultimately, everything is going to be resellers. That's just how Magic works. That's kind of the market that we're in. Is everything is singles and sealed boxes. Look at a box of Innistrad, or look at a box of New Phyrexia. Those are hundreds of dollars, $300, $400. The MSRP on those is irrelevant. The fact that you could have bought it at $100 when the set first came out, that doesn't matter now. And the cards you're seeing in this set, that's going to dictate the value 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, etc. So people that are losing their mind over these, you're either in or you're out. You either have the money to spend now, and if you want to do that, you can resell the cards for probably exactly what you put in and still hold on to a few things. Not to mention the box topper, where you're really playing the lottery with a good chance to actually win. So the TLDR for me is, this is a good set. This is the best master set ever. It's not even close. It doesn't matter what else is in the set. There's so much value from just the stuff they've seen. And the box toppers, we're not even really taking into account, because they're essentially, Wizards is valuing the box toppers at about $50. Let me just do the math real quick. So we know that it's $35 for 3 packs. So 3 times 8 is 24. So we'll do 35 times 8 is $280. Yeah, so $55 what they're valuing the box toppers at. I think that's going to be towards the low end. Like I said, I think $40 is going to be about the low end of this. So you're not risking very much if you're in the market for this. Even if you're like, man, I can't quite afford this. This is a big chunk, but you can, if you can buy one of these and resell like 2/3 of it, you're basically going to break even and still be able to hold on to a few cards. Okay, I'll let you can feel free to ask questions now.
I was just gonna say, I actually kind of forgot what I was gonna say. So obviously you said it's like the ultimate master set. I don't know. To me, it's still a huge price. I guess, like, would you recommend this to somebody that needs the cards, or just like, who'd you recommend to buy this product? Like, who do you think is like the best person to buy this product?
If you are savvy with buying and selling, then I think this is actually a fun product to buy. I think it's actually pretty hard to go wrong if you can get this for between $300 and $350.
What if you're someone just likes foils and enjoy filling out your deck? Is it worth it to buy this, or just buy the things you want, the pieces you want?
It's definitely worth it to buy. Specifically, if that's what you're into, it's definitely worth it to buy. You're going to get 25 foils, guaranteed. You get one in every pack, and then you get the box topper, which is going to guaranteed to be a valuable foil. The foils are going to add a lot more for this set than they will normally, because you hit so hard on the mythics. Like, they're all really crazy, except for, like, Sigarda and Balefire Dragon. Like, all the rest of the mythics are really outrageous.
One more question.
Yeah.
Do I play this, or do I play the Mega Millions?
I think lottery's stupid, so...
They're both lottery. Which lottery do I play?
You play this one because you're hitting higher, for sure.
Okay.
And sometimes you get to hold on to lottery tickets.
Heard to hear first.
In Magic.
But what if I hold on to my Mega Millions ticket? Do you think it'll go up in the future?
No, I don't. But this will. If you.
But what if it's the winning numbers? How much can I sell it for?
I don't know. Whatever the number is.
Right.
So for
double checking.
For Ultimate Masters, there's going to be a window of time that's going to last approximately 2 months. And I've said this with Battle Bond. I've said that every supplemental set that's like this. I feel like we talk about this every time.
Yeah.
The day that Core 19 came out was Happy Battle Bond goes up in price day, because you have from the time this set comes out until the next time that the next set comes out, which is Ravnica Allegiance. So we'll say February because it's the end of January. That's how long you have for these prices to be at their lowest if you're trying to buy these singles. After that, the set's going to stop being open on a regular basis because the availability is going to be down. You're not going to be able to find it at stores because they're going to be getting the newest set, which is Ravnica. We're in the longest lull between sets. Every year, the fall set and the winter set have the largest amount of time between them. Now, this is often filled with some supplementary product. This is the one for this year, but that's your window. So if you have the cards, like the original cards that you want to sell, you either do it now, you do it in November, in the month of November, or you wait until February, and then you can, as things start to go up, then you can sell them there. So again, I think the optimal strategy is congratulations, you already own the cards, you don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. Well, so when I used to buy, the expedition lands, the fetch land stuff, and I found the best time to buy them was around Christmas area, like December. I feel like overall the prices of cards are cheap.
Yeah,
around December.
They have to be, because money competes with money. People that sell Magic cards and vendors and stores that sell Magic cards, I mean, you have to lower the prices because you're competing with the rest of Christmas. You're competing with all of the video games and all of the technology and all of the stuff that people buy for people during that time.
Yeah.
And the fact that this set's going to be so expensive, like this is going to be the cheapest time. I promise you.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. Like people don't usually buy Magic cards around this time because of Christmas, basically Christmas and just the holidays.
Yeah.
So this coming out that time, I think is going to mean it's going to be bought less. Like I feel like if they would announce this around February or April, around like tax season, like tax return season, it would have sold more. But I feel like it's going to be like even worth more than what we originally think because it's coming out in this holiday season,
time.
Which is
exactly. That's a very big deal. That's a very, very big deal, and you're totally right. And that's not necessarily going to make it worth more because ultimately a year from now it doesn't matter. But you're going to be able to get it for less now than you would have in the future. Like if it came out in March, April, like Ali was saying. So,
right, yeah.
So going back to kind of the cards that I was talking about, if you're talking about cards that you expect to change, the cards that from the ones that we have seen so far, the ones that are currently either at a break-even point or less than a price of a pack, Tassiger, Stringwild, Wood, Lovercall, Reaches, Raging Ravine, Balefire, Dragon, Sigarda, Creeping Tar Pit, those plus this list, I expect to drop below the price of the pack. And again, I'm using the $14 mark. So those plus Fulminator Mage, Lord of Extinction, Maelstrom Pulse, Mana Vault, Prime Imperium, Urborg, Entomb, and Leovold to all drop either to or below the $14 level. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because all those things I named on the second list, I think they're gonna be in the 10 to 15 range, which is totally fine. And then I want to talk for a second about Dig Through Time. Dig Through Time is a bulk rare. However, the reason that it's a bulk rare is because it's not legal to play in any format except for one in Vintage and one in Commander, and that's all you get. Now, what would happen if Dig Through Time was unbanned in Modern? Which you pointed out that you thought it is fine when we talked about Modern a couple months ago.
Yeah, I did. I still do that. I still think it's fine.
And I think it's more fine now than it was then. And this is the box art is Dig Through Time. I'm not saying that I expect it to be unbanned.
But that's the only why else would you? Why else would you
sure is an interesting thing that they put it on the front of the box, isn't it? With sweet new art. Why would they put it on brand new art? You literally can't play it in any format unless you're going to be able to. Just something to think about, and that changes the game with Dig Through Time. It's still going to be below the $14, but it goes from a bulk rare to the Raging Ravine, Sigarda, Balefire Dragon range, which is a big deal.
Time to buy some Dig Through Times.
I mean, honestly, yeah. If you like specking, they're dirt cheap. They're literally worth nothing.
Yeah,
and it's a real powerful card. And if it can see play in
very,
modern,
very powerful card.
and I want you to keep in mind too, it's not about it seeing play, but the day that it gets unbanned, $15 immediately. Probably not immediately. There's a lot of them, but ultimately, it's gonna
It goes up.
The price will spike.
The turnaround is ridiculous. Yeah.
It's very quick. Better to get in now on the ground floor. However, I do think that new art is going to be super badass. So,
okay. Are we sure that new art takes the time?
Yes, it takes their time. You go look at that, and then look at the original art for Takes Their Time. It's 100% takes their time.
Okay.
So, right. Ultimately, for Ultimate Masters, I think it's a great set. I think this is the best Master set. The cards that are not in this set, and obviously we only know a handful of them right now, the cards that aren't going to be in this set for Modern, those are going to go up in price. Mox Opal, for sure, which is almost assuredly not in this set. That's going to be the most expensive card in Modern by a lot now. So, we can talk more about that.
I have my 4, yeah.
What now?
So I have my 4, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good to go. Okay, so before we go, let's talk about these arts real quick.
Okay.
Let's pick the best art, the 3 best arts.
All right, I'm gonna go real fast.
Okay.
Through the Breach, Termagoyf, Dark Depths, and Reanimate. I'm cheating because I know one of yours is also Dark Depths, so I'll go with Goyf, Dark Depths. Sorry, I know one of yours Through the Breach.
Yeah.
So Termagoyf, Dark Depths, Reanimate.
Okay, so we'll say that Ollie and I both agree that Through the Breach is the best art in this entire set. I don't care what else is in this set.
Yeah.
This card is completely insane. It's
it's just yeah.
It's super sick. Okay, so if we're not counting Through the Breach, which we both agree is the best, I'm gonna go with Demonic Tutor, Life from the Loam, and Eternal Witness. I really love the Eternal Witness art. It's like she's making like a dog. Yeah, she's making like a leaf wolf.
Yeah.
Although I do like all of the ones you named too. Honestly, I think
I really like the Reanimate flavor text, which is by Liana Vess.
Yeah.
And the flavor text says you better be worth it because you lose life when you reanimate something.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool.
Spoiler alert: Grave Titan always worth it.
So is Grizzlebrand.
That's true. Well, Grave Titan's on the art,
but she killed Grizzlebrand.
Yeah. It's Grave Titan. It's Grave Titan on the art of the card.
Right. Okay, right. And that's cool. But I'm saying she killed Grizzlebrand.
Yeah.
So her reanimating Grizzlebrand, is that like a lore fail or lore success?
She can reanimate whatever she wants, man.
She's right, powerful. You tell us.
Yeah, you guys tell us. Lore success or lore fail.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on Eternal Masters? Ultimate Masters. The most ultimate of all of the Master sets.
Yeah, Poggers. That's it.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but I guess we'll move on. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, let's discuss Death's most precious moments.
So this story is called Death's Precious Moments, and it's also by Nikki Drayden. She's doing the rest of them. This one is based on Golgari. It's about a insectoid named Bozak. He's born with a family. He hears that the Lich is doing some kind of contest. Basically like a quest, basically, and whoever wins it can be his apprentice. He decides to do that. He goes and competes against his brethren to get 4 mushrooms. Basically 4 mushrooms, 4 powerful, deadly mushrooms. Not deadly, but just powerful. Some are deadly.
Yeah, they have special qualities.
Yeah. And as he's doing it, you see them all like kind of betraying each other a little bit because they know only one can win. At the end of it, during this race, they're all racing to get the mushrooms. At the end, it's Bozak and an elf. Bozak wins, and it's only supposed to be one winner. But the Lich says, "Okay, well, you'll both be under my wing. I'll teach both of you." Bozak doesn't say anything. Doesn't say anything like, it's only supposed to be one. He just says, okay, that's fine. So the Lich is teaching them how to reanimate, become necromancers, and Bozak is in basically his chambers one day, trying to reanimate like a rat, and he overhears the Lich talking to the Boros people, like some soldiers in the Boros, saying, "Hey, we're gonna plant this mushroom that's like a rage mushroom on Vraska, so we can tie her to this 10th Street incident a long time ago and get her under arrest." And what Lich gets out of this, he's like, he thinks he'll become the guild leader if this happens. So Bozak learns this. He rushes to Vraska. He sees her at the top of like a spire. He takes a mushroom to help him climb the spire. And when he gets there, he sees her wearing the mushrooms. He sees it's called like an angel something mushroom that's the rage mushroom. He rushes towards her. Guards stop him. He's able to literally pull one of his arms, like dislocate one of his arms, kind of like a lizard, like where if you grab a lizard by its tail, you have their tail and they run off. Mm-hmm. So he does that with his arm, and he grabs the mushroom from Vraska. That's the one that they pinned on her. He eats it, jumps off the spire, falls down to his death. He wakes. He thinks he's alive, but he's actually dead, and he's reanimated by Masaryk as a corpse.
So
yeah.
And there's something, he's like kind of confused. He wakes up and it's like doesn't feel like his limbs are working quite right. Thinks he's alive. He's like, oh, wait a second. Maybe I'm not. But honestly, I guess it's not that bad because I have a lot of respect for Masaryk. So I guess it's cool that I got reanimated by him.
Yeah, it's so weird that he has actually still has his memories. I figure if you're dead, if you reanimate a zombie, you don't really have much thought,
Great. So I'm glad you brought that up. So I think that is on the necromancer and their ability to reanimate you.
I think it depends how fast they reanimate you.
Right? That's probably true too. So if you're dead for a while, your memories are just going to fade away. But if you're dead for a minute, you basically can just come back, and you're still dead, but you're more you than you might be otherwise.
Yeah, this story, some aspects I really like about Golgari, how they portray the Golgari. I loved how Bozak was born. Basically, him and his sisters were born through a beetle, where the beetle so the mother planted the eggs in a giant beetle.
Yeah.
And they were born from that beetle, and they ate the parts of the beetle, and then they cocooned themselves, and the beetle fought off intruders, and then they hatched from the beetle, or they hatched later, then consumed the rest of the beetle, and then used the beetle as their shelter, their home, their house. I felt that was a sweet Golgari thing, basically, from life comes death, and then we use every part of whatever, kind of like the Native Americans, where they use every part of an animal too. So they use the exoskeleton as a house. I did not like when they were racing for the quest, the Lich quest or whatever, that they're kind of betraying each other. It kind of went against the Golgari feel, because I feel like the Golgari are the creatures that are outcasts and part that no guild really wants from Ravnica.
Yeah.
And you think I figured that they'd be more inclusive of each other, and it didn't come up that way in this race for the quest, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't like that very much.
I actually agree. I actually agree with that part. It seems like that just seems very un-Golgari that they would want to be they're very unit based.
Yeah.
And
they're called the Swarm. Literally the Swarm.
Yeah.
And
that's
true.
That's true.
The Swarm is.
It's not a single
bunch
entity.
It's a bunch of little things that make one big thing, right? So, to me, and they were ruthless about it. They're killing you.
Yeah, they're killing each other. They're literally doing. It's literally like Hunger Games.
Exactly, Hunger Games. Yeah. You know, not on the head. Literally Hunger Games.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I mean, it was really short.
Yeah.
That section was really short. But even still, like, yeah, it seems like the only way that that part would really make sense to me, like from what I understand about the Golgari, is if they all kind of agreed that, well, whatever happens, it makes the group stronger. Like if people die in this test, it makes the group stronger. But I didn't really get that sense. Like they didn't portray that way. Just like, all right, free for all, whoever wins gets this.
Yeah, it felt like...
And it's not like they were all in agreement, like, okay, we all agree that we're going to do this, and whoever wins, that's the benefit of the group, and we're all okay with that. That didn't seem to be the case. So it's just like...
No. Especially since they, like, you know, went after each other. It seemed more demure, even, like, ragdoll shit. Like, not Golgari. It did not seem Golgari.
Yeah.
It did not, for me, represent the swarm at all. It felt not like them.
No, I totally agree. Like I liked this. I liked the story, and actually, this was probably my. I was gonna say my favorite main character. I really liked the Is It one too.
Yeah.
But even still, like I'm kind of going through, and I know the more you talk about that, like that stood out to me a little bit. I was like, that seems a little weird, but I guess I didn't spend as much time thinking about it. But now that you said it, it's like. I don't know, that really bothers me. That they're like I just feel like
yeah, especially the part where the one part where Bozak saves one of them is a Gorgon. He saves her from two moss dogs.
Yeah, moss dogs.
And there's three. So he saves her from two, and there's one left. And he like summons a bunch of beetles or a bunch of some sort of insect to attack the moss dog, and while they're attacking, the Gorgon charges her spell, and zaps the moss dog into stone. And same with the beetles, and you know Bozak's a little upset about the beetles, but before he can like voice his concern, he notices that she's charging another spell to like turn him to stone after he like basically saved her life, and she's saying it's because only one of us can win. And I was like, does not feel Golgari at all. Like he just saved your life, and you're like basically saying like. F you, you're gonna die now.
Yeah, it says only one can win Bozak, and it's gonna be me.
Yeah, there's a lot of betrayal. There's a lot of betrayal. So I understand like Black can be selfish and self-centered, but not to like.
I don't think that this is Golgari.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, because I don't think. I mean, we haven't seen.
It makes sense in Demir. Like I feel like this is more Demir than Golgari. The aspect, anyways.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Because selfish and manipulative and, like, betrayal.
Anytime that we have seen characters be ambitious for, like, that are black and green characters, and literally all of them, Gerard, Mazarek, Vraska, they're all doing it because they're like, I'm the one that should lead. Like, this is for the benefit of everyone. Like I'm going to put myself in front, but that's because I feel like I know the best and I can prove it, not because like I just want to reap the rewards of being in charge.
Yeah, and then also like when I kill this person or when I hurt this person, it's for the betterment of
the group,
my people.
Yeah,
my people. Yes.
Yeah. Like everything is for the Golgari. Everything is for the swarm. And this definitely just does not seem like. Cause, I mean, like just the line, only one can win Bozak. It's going to be me, and that's the. It's like,
that's a complete opposite of Golgari.
Yeah, I kind of think so too. I kind of think so too.
It's not about the one. It's literally not about the one at all when it comes to Golgari. It's about the whole. So, yeah, I didn't resonate with that. And I think that kind of made me just like the story a little more.
But it's so crazy because like you saw that Bozak, the main character, would do anything to protect Vraska because Vraska was being.
Yes.
Basically set up for a crime that she didn't commit.
Yes. By the Lich.
Yeah. The unnamed Lich.
I imagine he's the other guild leader. He's probably on the other guild gate. I'm gonna look that up. You keep talking.
Okay. But yeah, the main character Bozak was willing to literally do whatever it needed to take because he believed that it's more important that Vraska is able to lead. So I'm going to sacrifice myself, and in a very selfless way. But it didn't correlate with the rest of the story. Yeah. Like, I didn't get the sense that any of the other characters that were in the Hunger Games part would have made that sacrifice. But why wouldn't they have? Like, why were they written in a way that showed that they weren't willing to do that? When I felt like that anyone in the Golgari is willing to make sacrifices, maybe of themselves or others, to make sure that the good of the group is benefited. And that's what I just keep coming back to. Like, it sounds very Selesnya, like, what's good for one, what's good for the group is good for all, or whatever their BS is. But there's just, I don't know. Like, I agree that I just felt like there was this disconnect. That they're putting too much emphasis on the black part of Golgari, when the whole thing about the guild, of all of the guilds, is it's an intersection between both of the colors and not just like one but standing beside the other, but mixed together.
Yes. Yeah. And I found the other person was Azani Thousand-Eyed. And I don't think Azani
is not in the story at all.
Yeah.
Not even mentioned in the story.
Well, she's an elf. And she's a shaman. But she's not a lich, I don't think.
No, she's not a lich.
So I guess the lich was just an underrealm lich because. Yep. So yeah.
I do think this art is more awesome.
It shows the art. Oh, underrealm lich.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the art. Speaking of underrealm lich, I think on MG Arena when that art is played, the animation is very subtle, but also like it a lot.
Okay, that's cool.
It's like little green smoke comes around the card and slowly floats away and disappears. It just seems very like Golgari-esque, I guess. I don't know. It looks cool. But yeah, I agree with you. I wish I would have felt more of like a whole, like the green part of like the Golgari. And like you said, this is not about one color. Like, yes, black can be like that, but each Ravnica guild is not about one color. It's about both colors combined to make this one entity or one thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I understand ambition, but from what I understand, like Golgari has all been about ambition for the good of the group.
Exactly.
Not for the
100%.
good of self.
I agree with that.
And it's just
like they're ambitious for the group, which is where the green comes in.
Yeah.
They'll do anything for the group, but it's not for them, not for the individual.
Yeah, and that's what, like, honestly, even when Vraska was making her deal with Bolus, she's like, I want to be in charge of the Golgari because I want to take care of all of the people that have been treated like I was treated. Like, it's not because, like, I want to be queen and be, looked at fondly or any of this crap. She's like, I want to be the one to be able to lead these people because I legitimately care for them. And I'm the best person for that.
Yeah.
And I wish we had more of that. Like, I guess it's cool to see, like, I don't know, I felt like this was more about the magical side of the Golgari's magic, because they talk about in the beginning of the story, the main character was talking about, like, oh, well, what can I do? I don't really know what to do. He's like, oh, I do know a lot about mushrooms. Maybe I could be a necromancer.
So like he can summon. He can imitate like mating calls of beetles and insects and summon them. He can definitely summon insects. He can like summon beetles. He can't fly.
He's got a bum wing.
Yeah. But yeah, their magic is strange. Also, the power of the mushrooms was all absurd. Like, one basically like mind controls you and forces you to climb to the.
Yeah, basically you focus
top.
on one thing, and then it makes you singularly focus on that one thing without being able to think of anything else.
Well, no, it always makes you want to climb to the top, the highest part of something, and then blossom and die, because basically it wants the sun or whatever to hit it and then grow the mushroom inside of you, because the spores go inside your body and they want to grow. So like, it mind controls you to go to the highest tree or the highest whatever, climb to the very top and lodge yourself there so you can get the sun, die, and the mushrooms can like grow out of you. That's why He took it to get his fear of heights gone, to climb the spire to Vraska, and the whole time he was fighting himself to not climb more.
Yeah, he says, I must stop climbing. And that's higher, the fungus tells me. Higher.
Exactly. Yeah,
Beats like
exactly.
my heart. Yeah.
Yeah, because it wants him to climb up the very top and basically die.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And another one makes you like black eye for an hour, kill everyone around you, and then wake up like nothing happened. Which is what happened with the 10th Street incident, which they're trying to blame on
Vraska. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting story. I think we agree that we don't love the characterization of the Golgari as a whole, but I do think that the magic part, like the magic they were doing, which was a lot like, botany based with all of the plants and mushrooms and stuff. That was pretty cool.
I like that.
And you got to see like a lich, and then obviously we get to see Magic, who's a necromancer. So, yeah. I mean, they're cool moments, but frustrating moments as well.
Yeah, I agree. But I love the description of how him and his family was born. Like the beginning was like, oh wow, this is gonna be great, because like that explained the Golgari to like a T basically. It was really good.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. Okay, so we have Selesnya up next week. Is that right? That's the only one we didn't do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Any other thoughts on this story? Death's precious moments.
Nope. I think we've covered everything.
Okay. All right. In that case, we're going to be moving on, and we'll return to Magic's story next week with the last, I guess, the last segment as far as we know, about the inner workings of Ravnica from the Selesnya point of view. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to be discussing the Queen/Freddie Mercury biop, Bohemian Rhapsody. Be back in just a moment. All right. Bohemian Rhapsody. We're going to go ahead and throw up a not spoiler tag or spoilers, however you want to think about it, because this is essentially a
biography.
A biopic, about Queen and specifically Freddie Mercury. So this isn't a story that has a twists or turns or surprises. This is all public information if you want it. As long as you have the internet, you could probably figure it out. So, that being said, where do you want to start?
That being said, it kind of sucks that all the stuff comes out after someone dies. But yeah.
And that's a good point. That's a good point. And I think for Queen and Freddie Mercury in particular, he died in 1991, and Queen kind of had a resurgence in the early 90s after he died. And it's pretty common with, pop culture figures, whether they be actors or musicians, that are like...
Or even artists.
Yeah, or even artists. Specifically artists and writers are often eulogized in such a way where they become significantly more popular in death than they were when they were alive.
Yeah, can you imagine how much that sucks? Like, I could use, like, especially for artists, I could use more money when I was alive. Now I'm dead, my stuff is worth more, and it's ridiculous.
That happens all the time. I mean, it's very common. I mean, in all walks of art, music, film, different art mediums, writing. That's just kind of what happens, and this is a great example of a movie that never would have been made in Freddie Mercury's lifetime because
he was alive.
Yeah, people take it for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, after watching this movie, I felt like I took Queen for granted.
Yeah.
One, because like you don't really know the artists, like whoever, like your favorite band, like who you're listening to, you don't really know who they are. As you like their music, but you don't really know them, their backstory.
Yeah.
And like if I had known this about Freddie Mercury, it would have made me more connect more with the band. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, totally, totally.
So
I mean, I feel like personally, I would call myself a Queen fan, but not like a
diehard fan or anything.
Yeah, no. Like I bought. So my first interaction with Queen, other than just hearing, like, I know when Bites the Dust, We Will Rock You, Bohemian Rhapsody, a lot of their like most popular hits when I was young, because they were in TV and movies and etc. You and I grew up in the '90s, so that was pretty common when they had their resurgence that their stuff would be used commercially in that way.
Yeah.
But I bought two different like greatest hits albums. There was this it was a place called BB's CDs, and it was just a place like this little shopping center. You could go and buy CDs, and
right.
I was a member, so I got like a bunch of CDs, in the '90s, for '90s and 2000s actually, for like super cheap. When like compact discs were a thing. Some listeners probably were like, I remember those relics, but no, they existed in our lifetime.
And some are like, what are you talking about? What is that?
Yeah, exactly. So I bought two Queen like greatest hits albums, and that's when I was like, oh man, like we have so many more songs, they're all really great, and like obviously Freddie Mercury, his voice is like uncomparable to any other person.
Oh, absolutely.
So for the movie, I feel two different ways. Like I don't know how to rate this movie. This is the one I've actually had the most difficulty rating, maybe in the entire history of the podcast.
Yeah, I did too. Like it was a good movie, but like it wasn't phenomenal. But yeah, I agree with you. It's I don't know. It's hard because it's a biography. So like
yeah,
it's like rating a dictionary. It's like dictionaries are great. They're fine.
Yeah, two degrees.
They're still dictionaries
for sure. Like
right.
Like what are we rating? We're not rating the plot necessarily because it's
we're rating the facts. Like we're supposed to go. Like
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna base it off like how I felt.
Sure.
And I guess
honestly, I think it's actually a great way. That's kind of what I was going to talk about too. But you go ahead.
Yeah, so basically like how I felt and how much I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it 4 stars.
Okay.
Because like I felt a lot with the movie. I like kind of felt bad for Freddie Mercury and what he was kind of going through in a way. When he was like having
for sure.
His like crisis or whatever. And then I really like the aspect of the band being like a family oriented, and I like how they basically stuck together. There was a breaking point at one point, but like at the end, like it's like there's still like family. Even like him and his ex-fiance, they were, even though they broke up or didn't work out,
mm-hmm.
they still stuck together. Like the whole family element really meant a lot to me, and so it was like kind of sad at some points, but also like at other points it was kind of like strong in a weird way, like united. So it, like when they were united, like the audience, the crowd, you saw them unite them to the music.
Yeah.
Like there were times I got goosebumps from just the songs. Or
I know.
So, and I feel like if a movie can give me goosebumps multiple times, it
has to mean something, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
How do you feel about, as someone that your family is not American in the way that Freddie Mercury's family was not British, being displaced? Like, did you feel any? I don't know how to ask, I guess. Like, was there any way that you like kind of understood his point of view from like
the family part?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But he was a lot more. The word for it is like courageous or pushed through. Like usually if your family's like that, you just kind of, for the most part, listen to your family, or not that like whatever. Like the one time when his dad's like, okay, you need to get a job, you need to focus on your life, you need to do these three things in life to become good. And he basically says to his dad, how's that turned out for you? And walks out the door.
Yeah.
Like, I would have got destroyed. So, and I'm not sure if that's like exact representation, but the way they showed it, it's not as easy as he made it. Like how I can't imagine it was that easy for him. Or maybe it was. I don't know. But for most foreign families, I feel like if your family is against something, your mother and your father kind of against something, it's very hard for you to actually push through that and go through it anyways. I feel like they made it way too easy. Like just the whole movie in general. Not only that part, but just how fast Freddie Mercury and Queen moved. Like went from like 0 to 100 really fast, and like they made it seem, oh, sell a van, yeah, sell a van. Like it made it seem just like very quickly, and I can't imagine that was the actual what happened. So
yeah, and so that's okay. So that's a good segue into how I kind of feel about the movie. I think the movie itself, how the movie was put together, I think like Bryan Singer was the director for this movie. Well, kind of. Bryan Singer was the director for most of the movie. He actually got fired right at the end of the movie and replaced by somebody else. But because of the...
Why?
Because apparently the cast hated him, and like everyone hated him and just thought he was doing a poop job. So he got fired. Now, he still got the directing credit because he... like the Directors Guild basically decides who gets the directing credit, and since he did the majority of it, he still got the credit. But I don't think that the movie was put together very well. It asked you to infer a lot of things. Like, they just assumed things were happening, and they weren't. Like, it was... They danced around everything. They danced around his drug use. They danced around his, like, sexuality. They danced around his, like, relationship with his parents. And they, like, time wasn't spent on, like, getting to know him. It was, and then right when you're, like, making some sort of, like, feel like you're making some sort of connection to the character, they're like, all right, move on to the next thing. Time for this, like, monologue with a member of the band, which is fine. Yeah. And I actually think that all of the actors did a really great job, specifically Rami Malek, who portrayed Freddie Mercury. He's fantastic. I mean, just he was great. Like start to finish.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think the movie from a film perspective is good. I actually think it's kind of bad. But the parts that you're talking about where you're seeing them perform or some of their interactions is really special. And
yeah, it is.
Like for those scenes alone, this movie is absolutely worth seeing. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It honestly doesn't matter that the whole of the movie, if you're breaking it down from like a filmmaking perspective, is put together poorly. Like, that's not the cast's fault. That's not the people that are making this movie's fault. That was the director's fault. And that's something. The good parts are so good. Like the last scene when they're at Live Aid.
Dude, I was hoping they'd play like at the end there. I was hoping they'd play multiple songs completely out. Like I wanted to sit there
and just watch
pretend
that.
I was at basically pretend I was at a concert.
Yeah, it's incredible. Right, it's totally
let's
incredible.
hear like 10 songs. Yeah.
I went back and today, like as I was eating dinner, watched it's like they have like a 21-minute set at Live Aid, and it's on YouTube. If you just search Queen Live Aid, you can watch it. It's incredible how perfect they reenacted it. Everything. It's remarkable.
Oh.
And that scene is so good. It's so good.
It is.
It's literally worth watching the movie for that scene and like a handful of other scenes. And that's ultimately the thing that matters. Because working your way up to that point and going through everything that you see the band go through and then getting to this incredible moment, not in just the movie, but in like real life, that was a moment for them, and to see that portrayed in film it's crazy. It was
Yeah.
just on that part. It's so good for a movie that I don't think the movie as a whole is a good movie. It doesn't matter because the good parts are so good that it doesn't matter about the bad parts. Like you can throw those away and you can bypass them. You don't have to worry about that. All of the characters in this movie are like, other than like the main band members, like all the rest of the characters are basically like caricatures of characters. Like they're very predictable in how they act, how they talk, like all of the stuff that they're saying. Like you can bypass all of that because of how spectacular all of the main characters are, and specifically how Rami Malek portrays Freddie Mercury is
rating go
otherworldly. I'm gonna give it a 4, even though I think the movie's bad. The scenes are so good that it pulls the rest of it up.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So I want to say one more thing too.
Okay.
After watching this movie, leaving the theater, I get in my car, turn the car on, start driving, and I'm just like, listening to the music in the car. I'm just like, wow, look at how far we've fallen. Because I was listening to just the radio music, and just compared to like coming from like this to what we have now, it was just like the variety of what they like of their songs, and like the feelings of their songs. Like I can't remember last time I got goosebumps from like a radio song. I got multiple goosebumps from songs that I already heard from Queen, and then I swear comparing it, it's just like, man, our singers now have like little talent compared to then. It's just like, wow. So like that was one thing like that kind of reverberated within me when I left the theaters and was driving in my car. So
well, and that's one of the most poignant moments in the movie is when they're talking to that record executive.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're going to do I'm in Love with My Car. And the band is like, no, that song's crap. Like, we made it because someone wrote it. Like, one of the band members wrote it, but we all know that it's not good.
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, this is what goes on the radio. 3 minutes, everyone can relate to it. It's catchy. And I was like, well, it sucks. It has no substance behind it.
They can headbang in their car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're willing. They said, no, we know what's good, what's actually good. We don't care if this is the best thing for the radio. And we don't care if we're going to make you more money with the single. We're artists and we want to make what we want to make, and we know what's the best thing.
I love that part too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great scene. That whole scene was fantastic. That's also one of the best scenes.
Yeah.
And it's for scenes like that make this movie great in parts. But the great parts are worth it. So
yeah, there's one part. Also, heard, like I know, I thought that Freddie Mercury was diagnosed or knew he had AIDS after Live Aid.
Yes,
and
I'm pretty sure he found out like right before he died. Actually,
yes. So I think that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That he was able, that he like they made it seem like, okay, he has AIDS, so he's performing better because it's his last hurrah, and they kind of did that with the songs they played, like Mama, I Don't Want to Die, and then like another one where Hammer
to Fall.
We're the champions basically. Then it may like the songs they chose may seem like his battle with AIDS, and I don't think that was the case.
It was not the case.
Right. I think he was just a great, and that rubbed me the wrong way because like he's just a great singer, and make it seem like he's singing better now because of he has more spirit and more soul because he realized he has
time is running out.
Exactly, and I was like, I don't like that.
I didn't care for that either. I noticed that too. The thing was those were all the songs they actually played. Like
right.
So it's
still though.
No, that's what makes it even worse because they're taking factual things like that set that they played, and they're putting like meaning behind it that's not real.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, that's like those type of choices are like specifically directorial choices where you're inputting this bit of information that like changes a lot of things, and they do that like in multiple parts of the movie where like they make Freddie Mercury seem like he's like, I don't want to say dumb, but like makes decisions rashly. Like when he like fires people like after thinking about it for like 2 seconds, and like just emotional, and there's a lot more that was no doubt behind it, but they're trying to shove all of these moments, these big moments of life, in like 30-second scenes, and that's part of my frustration.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the casting for the whole, like for all the characters were great.
I do too.
The band specifically, Roger Taylor and Brian May, which is the no, Roger Taylor was the drummer. What is the bassist's name? Let me see if I can find it real quick. But those two guys looked exactly. John Deacon is the bassist. Brian May and John Deacon. Those two dudes look exactly like they do in real life. Like it's crazy.
They did good, the cast.
Yeah, they did great with the cast. They did really great. You should definitely go watch. You should, and anyone that's listening, not just you, Ali, but anyone that's listening, after you watch this movie, go and on YouTube just search up Queen Live Aid. And watch it, and you're just gonna be blown away again.
Yeah, go past the Rainbow Lich one. It's gonna be hard to bypass, but go past that and click on.
You can come back. You can come back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that concert is incredible, and he is. I mean, he's like a one of a kind vocalist and performer. He's amazing to watch, even in like film form. One point, it's not him.
At one point, he said he was born, so he's a certain way, and he could sing in higher octaves. Is that true?
He had more like teeth in his mouth, so his mouth was big. That's true.
Big, right.
Yeah, that was true.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Rami Malek had to put in like prosthetic teeth to have his mouth look like that.
Gotcha. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I liked the movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
Thoughts?
I liked it enough. No, just frustrating at parts, but the good parts are exceptional. Like they're super duper great. If you even like Queen at all, you should see this movie because you'll love it. And if you,
I agree.
If you're not sure about Queen, then I guess see the movie when you don't have to pay for it, but definitely see it. Like I think everyone should just watch it. I don't know. I really like. I love a good biography documentary type thing. It's something I care about. So this fits the bill.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Cool. Well, let's move on then. As usual, we have our famous question of the week coming up in just a moment. Be right back to talk about that. So before we get to the question of the week, we should have done this in the last segment. Do you have a favorite Queen song?
I guess Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, I mean that's a fine answer. I mean, I think that's a.
I just yeah. I'd say like I just like it. I understand like it's the title of the movie. It's like one of their biggest songs, but it's just and it's one of the biggest songs because for a reason, and I'm one of the reasons why it's one of the biggest songs. So like because I like it. So.
Oh yeah. I think that's a very reasonable answer.
What about you?
Mine, it used to be Killer Queen, but in the last probably 10 years is I Want to Break Free.
I also like Pressure real quick. Sorry.
That's a great song too.
Yeah, I mean, Pressure is really good as well.
Under Pressure.
if I had to choose one that wasn't, their number one, like Bohemian Rhapsody, it doesn't be under pressure.
Yeah. I Want to Break Free in the movie was the music video when they were all dressed up in drag.
Yeah.
That's that song.
Yeah, the one that was banned from America.
Yeah. It's a great song though. It's a great song. They have a lot. They have a ton of great songs. Okay. Question of the week. Back to Ravnica. We've been talking about the inner city workings of Ravnica for multiple weeks now with the Magic Story. This week will be no different. Ali, your birthday's coming up in 5 months. But it's coming up. It's still coming up.
It is coming up.
It's still coming up soon. 5 months away. Anyway.
Yeah.
If you could choose, which guild would you want throwing you a birthday party?
Okay, I messed up last time, but not thinking of Gruul. I'll pick Gruul this time. Okay, because one, I am doing keto, and they'd help me out. They have like steaks, they have bacon, they have boiled eggs, they have eggs mixed with whatever else. They have a lot of meat for your birthday.
I don't think they have boiled eggs. I think they should have eggs.
All kinds of eggs.
I don't think they're boiling them. They're just eating.
I mean, they may like maybe there's a fire breather. You don't know the Gruul, man. Okay, you know the Gruul.
Okay.
And then Burberugmus will have some candied bacon for me. He just has some bacon that he like dropped in brown sugar probably, and then be like, here you go, happy birthday, happy Gruul birthday, and I'd eat it. Might have some dirt on it, but it'd be delicious. Also, man, can you imagine how big the food would be if a giant made it for you?
It'd be big. It'd be big.
Yeah. So basically, you get like just giant portions of everything. You get giant food servings, giant birthday cake or candied bacon, and then giant birthday party. I mean, and giant presents. Like everything's
big.
Everything's
what you want.
Everything's American size.
Okay, yeah.
McDonald's. It's McDonald's all over again. So I'm gonna choose a Gruul.
Okay, so you focus a lot on food.
I'm hungry.
Okay, so I tried to narrow it down. I went backwards. So, which one would I want to throw me a party the least? This is going to surprise you. Things that surprise a lot of people. My least was Selesnya.
Azurius? Selesnya. Okay.
Selesnya. Because, it seems like you'd have a great time, but they're going to invite way too many people. I don't want 700 people at my birthday party.
I feel like Selesnya is just going to be a regular birthday party, no surprises.
But with a billion people. With so many people.
I don't want that. Like I don't want a normal birthday party.
They're going to invite the whole conclave.
Probably. Yeah.
So don't want Selesnya, don't want Rakdos because I'm not trying to get like
crazy.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get crazy. That's a frat party. Not into that.
Also, yeah. You don't want Golgari. You don't want like anything undead.
No, actually, I do want Golgari, and Golgari is my selection.
Oh my god. Okay, why?
Okay, so I'm not focused on the food. I am a little skeptical of the food, but I think for company, Golgari is going to be the best because they're not going to make a big deal about it. Like it's going to be close friends. Everyone cares about each other, despite what we've seen in the story for this week. But you and I both know that that's not the case.
Yeah.
Golgari care for each other. Everyone's looking out for each other. So I feel like it's a birthday party where it's like a bunch of like a small group of friends, and you're all telling stories of stuff that has happened, and it's the best like intimate time where nothing crazy will happen. Because I don't want crazy. I want it's fun to just be nostalgic and just say, you know what? We're all here. We all care about each other. And that's the most important thing. And thank you for having all of us as friends so we can all be together right now. And that's what I would want for a birthday party. I feel like I'm going to get that the most from Golgari.
I think Gruul's close to that too. I mean, I think people think as Gruul is like just barbarians or barbarians, but I don't think they're all that way.
I don't know. I feel like you just talked about food and that's it.
Perfectly Gruul thing to do.
Talk about food.
Yeah, and then afterwards you can sit down. and talk about life while eating your food and smash things. Well, Golgari, you might have like some bugs and like, you know, dude, that cake is gonna be makeshift. It's gonna be makeshift as heck.
I'm not worried about the food.
Some mushrooms.
You're so worried about the food.
Food matters, man.
No, I know that you're hungry right now, and that's why you're selecting gruel, because you're so hungry.
Gruel even sounds like food.
It is food. Gruel is food. It's disgusting food.
I mean, that's what I want right now.
You just want any food. So, all right. Either way, question of the week: which guild would you want throwing you a birthday party? Ollie selects gruel. I'm selecting Golgari. Of course, if you have a dissenting opinion, please be sure to let us know in the comments on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, Ollie, where can people find you?
Find me at twitter.com/Ali Aintrazi, twitch.tv/Ali Aintrazi. I'm streaming a lot more now, as some of you may or may not know. So make sure you stop by there. CoolStuffInc.com. My articles go up every Friday. Excuse me. This week is about the chromatic black deck that I've made that Justin likes. It's basically mono black control that splashes for Niv Mizzet with 4 chromatic lanterns.
Sounds fantastic.
Or if you're feeling crazy, you can crack treasure tokens with treasure map.
A ton of clues.
Yeah. It's definitely with lantern, but I've also had time games where like I discard the Niv Mizzet to an Eldest Reborn or whatever, but then reanimate it with my own Eldest Reborn. So
that's pretty good.
Or more likely you dark bargain it. Like if you dark bargain, it says pick 2 to go to your hand, 1 to go to graveyard. So you put Niv Mizzet in your graveyard and you get 2 cards. Or Discovery. Discovery also bins Niv Mizzet if you want to reanimate them. So yeah. Sweet deck. Very powerful deck. What about you?
You can find me on Twitter at jparnell1, and you can of course find me on StarCityGames.com and YouTube. I'm the host of the Commander Versus series. We're getting close to the end of the season-ish, but still a lot of great fun to be had, including our trip to the Randomonium, which we're currently in. If you want to contact the show, you can do so on Twitter at ThinktwiceMTG on Twitter, and of course, ThinktwiceMTG at gmail.com if you want to shoot us an email. And you can find the show on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify, and of course, youtube.com/ThinktwiceMTG, where we have all of our episodes as well as content from myself doing my free-to-play series, which I'm still trying to figure out a name for, but I'll have one soon, and Ollie's Brews on a regular basis. If you want to support the show, please be sure to leave a review on one of those platforms. Leave us a 5-star review, a little quick text review, or a subscription or a like always helps. Beyond that, you can go to patreon.com/ThinkTwiceMTG if you want to support the show. We have a lot of great reward tiers, including our $1 Augur Bolus tier, which gets you a set of Ollie and Justin tokens, early access to the show, and access to our exclusive Patreon Discord server. And we want to thank Brielle S. again for being our most recent Patreon supporter. Thank you very much, Brielle. And speaking of Patreon, Ollie, we have to name a Discord animal of the week. And the winner for this week is appropriately appearing on the Ultimate Masters Through the Breach, Nahiri, the lab mix, not the Planeswalker. I know it's confusing. It looks like the Planeswalker on the card, but it's not. It's the dog. It's the pupper on the card.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, you gotta really zoom in. You gotta really zoom in because they look similar, but it's the
okay. I believe it.
Yeah, it's Nahiri the pupper, which is our official Discord animal. So congratulations, Nahiri. You're looking real cute. Please post another picture of you so we can see more.
Yeah, but don't summon Emrakul to the Discord, please.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want our players to get our
server to get annihilated.
Yeah.
No, we don't want that. All right, that's it. That's the show for this week. We want to give a special thank you to our graphic designer, Amber West. You can find her work at amberwestdesign.com, and of course, our director and producer, John Shea, and our Agent of Bolus producers, Daniel Hunt and Matt Lindell. Thank you guys very much. As Ollie likes to say,
you are the true MVP.
The truest MVPs. All right.
The truest of the true.
That's it, guys. Thank you very much for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Love you guys. Love you, Parnell.
Love you too.
Bye.